Hey everyone, this is Derrick Broze of the Conscious Resistance Network, and today we are going to be talking about genetically engineered mosquitoes. We're going to be talking about whether or not and when they will be released in Harris County, which is the Houston area here in Texas. And we're going to basically just be doing kind of a part two of a previous report I've done about this topic. But before we get into all that, I want to remind you guys to bookmark my website, theconsciousresistance.com. This is your home for all of my content, my books that you can download for free. I've written 5 books now, with a 6th one on the way. And you can watch all my documentaries for free. You can purchase them and download them and own them if you like. You can watch all of our podcasts from our different content contributors. You can find conscious music. And of course, you can learn about freedom cells over here. Also, I want to remind you guys, if you haven't seen, we have a new documentary coming out in the next few months or so. And you can see the trailer right there. Finally, I'll invite you to follow us on float.app, on minds.com, on Hive, to join our text list right over here in this little cloud, to follow our videos on BitChute and on Library. And if you're listening on YouTube or Facebook, I recommend going right now and check. This is also live on Float. This video will also be seen on BitChute. This will also be seen on Library. So don't feel like you're stuck on YouTube and these other platforms, which are increasingly censoring content like mine. Finally, if you want to support me, you can do so at patreon.com/Derrick Broze. And if you want to follow my daily news, updates, and statuses on Telegram, I have a channel for that as well. So let's get right into it. As I mentioned a moment ago, this is a continuation of a report I did a couple of weeks ago. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. It was called, at that time, Bill Gates' Genetically Engineered Mosquitoes in Houston. And we went over, for one, the history of who Oxitec is, the company, the British company that's behind these genetically engineered mosquitoes. I talked about how there have been activists trying to raise awareness of this, including an activist who died under mysterious circumstances in Florida, who's been trying to fight this for several years. And now we found out that the EPA has granted the first permit to test genetically modified mosquitoes. This was all reported back in early May, and testing is supposed to start first in Florida and the Florida Keys as soon as this summer. And then they also have mentioned that by 2021 in Harris County, which again, Harris County is the second largest county in the country of the United States, and it's the county that includes Houston and Houston surrounding small cities. And yeah, so that's where I am from and where I am at at the moment. And in the last video, I mentioned to you guys that I've been keeping up with this issue for a few years, actually. And I called what is called let me see, I got the link here somewhere. The mosquito, it's called Harris County Mosquito and Vector Control. Let me pull the link up for you guys real quick. And this is the department in the county that deals with these mosquito type issues. And I talked to them over a year ago. I called them and basically shared my concerns and asked for any information. So this morning I decided to call them again and get some more information to find out exactly when this whole crazy thing is going to happen in Houston, and if the people are going to be given a voice and all these sort of things, which I think generally we understand. Typically we're not given a voice, but I did complete a phone call with a representative from the Harris County Mosquito and Vector Control Mosquito and Vector Control Department. So I'm going to play that call for you guys right now. This is exclusive to, oh man, hold on guys. I'm not sure if it's actually going to play. I'm really sorry about this. I'm using a new program and it doesn't seem like it's going to give me audio options. So I have a feeling that you guys are not going to be able to hear this. So I might have to upload this to YouTube separately. I apologize about that, but I'll just tell you what the call said. I spoke with this gentleman. His name was Chris. And again, I will upload this separately now since I realize that it's not going to play. It's only a 3-minute call, but in this call, I can at least share the screen with you so you can see that I'm not just BSing you. I have it recorded on my program right here. And this is the recording I made with him. I'm just going to play it. I doubt you guys are going to be able to hear it, but I'm going to play it and just so you can see what's going on. But I called Chris from the department, and he told me that that they have no plans to do it right now. What he told me is that in Harris County, they're already spread thin because of COVID-19 and things of that sort, so that there are currently no plans to release them in Houston. I asked about 2021, and he said that, yeah, like it's not going to happen at the moment. But he said that when they do release them, there will be some sort of, well, in his words, he said, we will consult with all stakeholders, which is a nice way of them usually saying we're going to consult with the community and things like that. But I will say we need to be skeptical. Again, I will release this 3-minute call separately on my YouTube channel and Facebook just so you guys can listen to it. But the thing is, I've questioned them and asked them about this. Just for example, let me see if I can pull it up. They claim that it's going to be released in one neighborhood in north of Houston in the 610 area. I'll show you guys a map for those who aren't familiar with Houston. And they literally told me like, oh, it's just going to be this one neighborhood. And when I questioned them prior to this, well, how are you sure the mosquitoes are going to stay in that neighborhood? And, the thing is, they claim that these mosquitoes that, well, for one, it's the males so that they don't bite anybody. That's what we're told. I know it's kind of hard to see right here, but if you guys can see this, let me zoom in a little bit. This 14 and 15, 12 and 13, this is the area right here where they said they were going to release. So downtown Houston's right here. This is 610 North. I-10 is right here. I-10 runs all the way to Florida and to California. So right here where this 12 and 13 is, these are the neighborhoods where they said they were going to be releasing the mosquitoes prior. Now, this was over a year ago, so maybe the plans have changed. But I called them and I was asking, like, how can you guarantee that they're going to stay in that neighborhood and they're not going to go to other neighborhoods? Or how do you know, has there been any impact studies for the wildlife, for the animals, for the people? Even if they say that they're not going to bite people, I don't think those are the only concerns. And I don't think we should just dismiss, okay, well, they're not going to bite us, so it can't affect us. I mean, there's other ways that mosquitoes and life in general plays a role in the population growth and, well, just affects all of us. I mean, I hope you guys understand that. Sorry, I don't think I was sharing the map before right here. 12 and 13 right here, if you guys can see. 12, 13, 14, 15. This is the area right here. Downtown Houston is right here in the middle. 12 and 13, this is where they say they're going to release the mosquitoes. So my point is, we don't know how it's going to affect the other populations. They claim that like the males will go out and they'll have sex with the females, and over time they will die off, and that'll be that. But we really don't know the unforeseen impact of how that's going to affect other wildlife and the environment in general. And also, I think many of us are just skeptical of this whole idea of genetically engineering nature and like playing God with everything, which is honestly how I see it. I think it's a dangerous thing to do. I'm not saying there's no room for it. And the other thing is, they claim that this is to fight, years ago when they first started talking about this, they claimed that it was being done to fight the Zika virus. Well, there's no outbreak of Zika virus here in Houston and Harris County. Like, we're fine. We're chilling. Everybody's good. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And as my friend here, I'm guessing it's Justin from We Are Change Orlando, who, if you don't know them, follow them on YouTube, follow Justin Harvey on Facebook, elsewhere. There's lots of good work out there, including working with Justin. What's her name? I can't remember her name. Maria, the woman who passed away in the pool in the mysterious circumstances. If you don't mind posting her name, I will put it on screen. But Justin and others is right that Oxitec is funded by Bill Gates, as well as other players, Monsanto and things of that sort. There's a lot of the familiar faces that you see. So it is true, as Lion says, female bites, not the male. That is true. That's what they've told us. So I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense. Okay, Mila Demir, rest in peace. Yep, she is the activist from Florida. And I actually wrote an article about this. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, and we'll share that out there just so we can get her story. Because my point with sharing that is that she's been fighting people like her have been fighting and trying to get the truth out for quite some time, at least a number of years. Her death happened in 2018, and myself and a few other independent, media journalists talked about it, but for the most part, it was ignored, and these kind of stories come and go. And I know there's so much going on. There's like new stories possibly related to Epstein today and all kinds of stuff, but it's important for us to keep up with these kind of things that are going on. And for me, the reason I'm particularly following this is because I'm in Houston, for one, and I think it's just like I've been trying to show you guys recently by going to the hospitals, that instead of just speculating about what may or may not be happening on the internet, the truth, or at least let's say more of the truth and more pieces of the puzzle, is sometimes just a phone call away. It's just an email away. You know what I mean? Like, I said this in my video, that there are so many activists, and I get that we don't all consider ourselves journalists, but if you're out there spreading information, I think that in one way or another, you are basically putting yourself in the journalistic, realm, and that you, I believe, have a responsibility to put out as much information, positive, factual, credible, backed up information as you possibly can. And when you put up information that is not accurate, to go back and to let your audience know. That's at least the approach I try to take. And I know that not everybody agrees with that, unfortunately. And here we are. This is April 2018. Florida activists who fought the release of genetically modified mosquitoes found dead in a hotel pool. I will link this article. And again, Justin was the one who brought this to my attention. I was able to speak to her friend who was Barbara Napoles, and she gave me lots of information about the background, and I just shared the link in the article. But that's where I want to leave it today. Again, I apologize. I planned to play the video clip for you guys, the audio clip, but it's not working on this program I'm using. I apologize for that, but I think most of you probably trust my word. And even if you don't, I will upload the 3-minute call after I hang up on this video, and then you guys can listen to it yourself, just so you know. And like, just to reiterate, they are claiming there are no plans to release these genetically engineered mosquitoes in Houston, Harris County at the moment. They said that there were plans, but because of COVID, they're stretched so thin, and yada yada yada. There's no time to do it. They don't have plans to do it, and they claim that if they do, if their mind changes and they plan to release it at some point in the near future, that the public will be notified. And you better believe that whether I'm here or not, I will, whether I'm living in Houston or back in Mexico or wherever, I will continue to keep an eye on this story. And I know people like Justin and others will continue to keep an eye on what's happening in Florida. And by the way, while I'm mentioning Justin with We Are Change Orlando, since he's very much related to this story, if you guys go visit theconsciousresistance.com and search Justin Harvey, you'll find an interview we did together, and I think you guys will appreciate that, because Justin does a lot of good activism related to vaccines, related to fluoride, related to the GE mosquitoes and March against Monsanto, and so many different things. And we did this interview back in January before things got real crazy, interviewing Justin Harvey of We Are Change Orlando. And as I said, he's been spreading information on the Federal Reserve scam, the fluoride deception, vaccine dangers, 5G, and more. And this interview is called How to Inspire People with Your Activism with Justin Harvey. So I'll go ahead and just post that in the links for you guys as well. And that's what we're going to leave it at for today. I appreciate everybody who is tuned in, who is sharing and supporting our work. Again, check out the trailer for our new upcoming documentary, The Pyramid of Power. Follow us on all our alternative social media platforms so that you don't have to rely on Facebook or YouTube. And I might have another video or two coming out later today. But in the meantime, I'm working on my new report, my new article on the Great Reset. And it's probably going to be one of the most important articles I've ever written. So I really hope you guys will stay tuned and listen to that. Until next time, remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are free. Thank you for all that you do. Peace.